Alright, hello everyone. My name is Maple Snowgirl, and this is going to be the new Pokemon Snap high course score showcase of the Johto Legends. There are 3 Johto Legendary Pokemon and the 1 Johto Mythical that appear in new Pokemon Snap. Unfortunately, none of them are this fine photo of Beware, across 4 different stages. So we will be playing through... I did not think the Beware bit through. Snowfield's Night has Suicune, Undersea has Lugia, Fireflow Volcano has Ho-Oh, and Elsewhere Forest has Celebi. But before we do that, I have a lovely commentator with me today.
Hello, I'm dijonketchup. I'm here to help out on commentary.
Yeah. Alright, so, I will explain to the best of my abilities the general idea of how course scores work in new Pokemon Snap as soon as this first sort of stage starts. So, going to give a quick countdown and then we will be off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, I'm realizing that the first 3 stages out of the 4 are very chaotic and fast-paced, and I don't want to take 6 pictures of this Piplup. So, as you can see up in the top right corner of the screen, there is a number next to some rectangles. Now it's at 71. That is the number of photos that you have on a... I accidentally took 2 pictures of my Deanna. Let's try that again. That's how many photos you can take for one playthrough of a stage. The way that course scores are tallied is there are various point categories for photos, and every photo will then have all of those tallied up for an overall photo score. All 72 photos of a playthrough of a stage will be multiplied by the number of different species of Pokemon that you take pictures of. And that's going to be one more reset because Braviary is very fast. So you want to take all 72 pictures and you want to try to photograph as many different species of Pokemon as you can. And you also want to prioritize some really high point photos for Pokemon that you use the sort of the shutter mode on. You can change how many photos you take per input from 1 to 3 to 4 to 6. So there are actually times where all 4 different totals are equally useful. And now Braviary will stop the yell at Sandslash, and we can now move on to the second area. This is scary. This is the, not the scariest part of the run, though. Stage, rather. This section has, I think, 8 Pokemon. Starts out pretty chill with Crabominable. Crabominables like to punch trees. And unfortunately, it's going to be a Abomasnow's problem now. Something else that's really cool is the little vehicle that we ride around in. You can have that move faster. So there are times where I actually hold the acceleration button down to go fast to get into better positions for certain photos. Like a better picture of the Stom tree. And then Furret and Weavile. And now the One Breather section. The Ice Cavern. There are only 4 Pokemon here, and it's really chill. And now we utilize... I don't know if it's utilized at all in the rest of the run. I think it is a little bit. You can play a little tune. So Jinx likes music. I I guess. That's a very high point photo, hopefully. I say hopefully because that specific photo can vary for, like, there's a range of like 500 points. I'll explain a little bit better the sort of like different categories for that, like all add up for the different like multipliers effectively for photo scores. That hit the Jinx with an Illumina Orb, that's good. Just to make sure, Avalok, Jinx, Dugong. Now we need Beartic and Magikarp. There is indeed a Magikarp right here. And now the scary part. And our first Johto Legendary. I need to hit the Suicune with an Illumina Orb while it's running across the lake. And I missed. So that is going to be one more reset. This stage is honestly the scariest, because the reset point is at the end. The reset point of the volcano, which is the third stage, is literally the first two photos that we take. However, the other two stages, Undersea and Elsewhere Forest, don't really have reset points, which is going to be very, very nice. Hello to Delibird. I will say, since this is going to be just trying to get back through the first three segments of the stage again, Satan, if there are any messages, now's a pretty good time.
I have a message. We are only about $150 away from adding American Truck Simulator to the schedule. So chat, let's get that, minute before even $10 into 10 minutes into this run. $10, 10 minutes. Speaking of dollars, we've got $38 from Chaffee, who says, let's start a favorite Pokemon donation train. Going to kick things off with a donation to one of my all-time favorites, Ninetales. Oh, I love that. Can we get a million-way bid war between everyone's favorite Pokemon going on in chat? And one of those amazing donations that have gotten us super close to American Truck Simulator is $1,000 from an anonymous donator who says, come on chat, get truckin' before it's too late. I love getting truckin'. We only have $150 to go on that, so now is the time, ! Donate in chat. Let's get some truckin' on the schedule.
Well, I have good news for Ninetales enjoyers in the chat. Ninetales will actually be making an appearance in the Elsewhere Forest. But before then, Suicune needs to behave. And for Suicune to behave, we need to get back to Suicune. I don't know why. This is not the first time I have run this stage in a marathon. Suicune always loves to stress me out in marathon settings, specifically. It usually gets hit instantaneously in every single practice run, every single PB attempt, everything. Then I guess Suicune gets a little bit of stage fright because it uses like some combination of like Aurora Veil and Blizzard, and it's a really, really beautiful spectacle that it puts on, but I guess Suicune gets a little bit shy every once in a while.
We all do.
Very true, very true. Alright. Suicune, take two. Action. Alright, that should work. Just to make sure... oh, I need to get a picture of Mamswine. I almost forgot about that. Now let's grab...
Oh, really?
Some 6 photo bursts of Suicune. Take a real quick photo of Swinub. And now... spam the 6 photo burst a little too much, and unfortunately, we won't be taking a picture of Auroras this time. Every once in a while, this game gets a little bit fickle with
Good to see you.
not reading inputs and this time I got a little too worried about it not reading an input that I accidentally made an extra input, but that is a-okay. There's still 25 species of Pokemon photographed on that attempt, and Suicune had all of its photos taken. Even with missing one species of Pokemon, this is still the highest number of different Pokemon species that we will be seeing on a single stage. Snowfield's Night is actually the most species-dense stage in the game. I want to say that there is a glitched route for the high score that actually ends up photographing an extra 2. So you end up with, well, an extra 2 compared to the normal 26, if I had not made that minor slip up at the end. So with a glitched route, you can actually get 28 different species of Pokemon, meaning that you can get, with all of the photos multiplied by the different species and added up and all that good stuff, there are, I don't remember the exact number, but I want to say it's like 2 players have actually hit an 11 million point score.
Wow.
On that stage, which is absolutely absurd. GG's to them. But now we are taking a dive under the ocean. We are going to the Lentil seafloor to the undersea stage. This is the Den of Lugia, and also maybe, at least in my opinion, a contender for the prettiest stage of the entire game. So this first section has Finneon, Alomomola, Corsola, Love Disc, and a very cool picture of Clawitzer. But Corsola and Love Disc are just chilling here taking a nap. Most stages also have alternate routes that you can access by running a scan with your camera. I'm going to bonk the Clawitzer with a Fluff Fruit to have it turn around and use some sort of launch type move, and I am going to also flip real quick to my Undersea move, just so that way I make sure not to miss a single Pokemon. So, blink and you'll miss it because we're going to zoom right by Chinchou. This is one of, actually in my opinion, the most satisfying pictures to get high points on. I took it a little bit late, which is fine, but if you get it like really big, really centered, you can actually get like 4,900 points on a Chinchou photo, which is pretty wild, because one of the big things with photo points tends to be like size and placement, and normally some of the smaller Pokemon like Chinchou don't have opportunities to have huge points, huge point interactions. Let's hit that Crystabloom.
And you know what would be a huge point interaction, chat? If we got those 90 last dollars, actually 80 last dollars to get that American Truck Simulator yet. Matt, also I have a donation from the Pokemon who was including you. We've got $10 from Suicune who says Mew.
Yeah, that sounds like Suicune. I ended up accelerating a little bit too much and did not get a photo of the Lumineon as it spun around in the dirt, which is fine because I was still able to get a nice big picture. Speaking of big picture, that's Wailord.
It's a big boy.
Yeah. Dang it. The Wailmers blocked the optimal photo of the Frillish. So the Frillish got a little bit cheeky and tried to grab the very helpful lantern, but hitting the lantern with an Illumina Orb let it light up its, lights and sort of scare them away. And now the lantern is going to very kindly show us the way to Lugia's den. and Luminion is going to choose to not be helpful, so we have to take a picture of the clam pearl in the dirt. Every once in a while, what you want to do is you want to throw fluff fruit in a way where you will lure the Luminion over to a clam pearl, and then Luminion will do some digging and dig up the clam pearl, and then clam pearl will scamper away. Unfortunately, that is one of the hardest, luring angles in the whole game. It is very awkward, and also Luminion sometimes just gets very, very interested in, seafloor pebbles instead of clam pearls, and you know what, we're gonna just let Luminion do what Luminion wants to do, because we can still get the picture of clam pearl for the species multiplier, and Lugia's swimming away, but Lugia will be swimming on back. I just realized I have to hit the legendary with an Illumina orb again. I forgot about that part. But before we do that, there's Golisopod. Try to get Golisopod to eat some food. He's a big boy.
Nice.
That actually felt like a pretty good
donations
picture.
for your favorite big boy Pokemon, chat. I would love to hear about your favorite large creatures.
Yeah, I think actually we saw my favorite super large Pokemon. Wailord has for a very long time been in my top 5.
Extremely respectable choice, I think.
Can't go wrong with the Lord of the Whales.
Now, let's grab some more Lugias. I need to be very mindful not to take the extra burst like I did on the previous stage. And now, dance party with Cradily.
You've run out of memory.
And that is Undersea. Honestly, I love that stage. It is so much fun. That has always been one of my favorites. It's just such a pretty stage. And that felt like a pretty solid run-through of the stage. Finneon is actually genuinely one of the hardest Pokemon to get optimal points on this stage, and I don't understand it. I've never been able to figure out how to consistently get a diamond rank Finneon picture. Each photo has 4 different ranks that you can get on the star number. Bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. And diamond photos are pretty much 4,000 point photos or higher. The star number is just pretty much what the Pokemon is doing in the photo. So certain interactions will be 3 stars. Sometimes if a Pokemon's just chilling, it'll be a 1 star. Lugia's swimming away right after it woke up is a 3 star. Golisopod eating is a 2 star. Cradily dancing's a 3.
Well, I'll be dancing if we get those last $55. Come on, chat, let's close this out. Can we get this run added to the schedule before 20 minutes on the timer? I think we can. $55. Come on, chat, $55. Do I see 55? If I do,
You can do it.
exclamation mark donate. Do we have time for some donations as well? Got lots of Pokemon fans in the chat.
Yes, as soon as I explain something. There may be
Feel free.
a handful of resets at the beginning of this stage. Due to 2 fire and flying type Pokemon. Talonflame, which is on the screen for half a second, and Ho-Oh, which will show up down a corridor to our right, except Ho-Oh showing up there is complete RNG. Alright, Satan, take it away.
Sounds good. We've got $39.90 from I Break for Bidoof, who says, let's get a Pokedex trainer rolling. $39.90 for my boy Bidoof. He's such a handsome fella. And you know what else could be a rollin'? Simulated American trucks. You're getting me in the accent already. And I'm not complaining, but I need to see, about $50 more. Come on, chat. Let's get this American Truck Simulator added to the schedule. We got so many people who want to do that. We've got $5 from Lurker Spine, who says $5 towards hitting that bonus game. And we got
$5 from Worm, who says, number 59, Arcanine, use extreme speed to support Malala Fund, and we have just supported Malala Fund with $40,000, and we have hit the American Truck Simulator bonus game. Thank you so much, Twitch chat.
Woo! Let's go.
As I was talking, I love it. Keep it coming.
Oh, whoa. I've gotten like decent enough Talonflame photos like 5 different times to play the stage out, and Ho-Oh has not shown up for any of them. So the reason why I need Ho-Oh to show up there is I need to actually take a, I believe this is just like a 1-star Ho-Oh picture. There we go. And taking the photo there will result in rainbow feathers spawning throughout one of the routes on the stage. And I need to Illumina Orb those 3 rainbow feathers to get Ho-Oh to descend over the ruins at the end of the stage. But now we are going to throw some steam at the Altaria for a decent point picture. That felt like a really good Monferno, all things considered. The Graveler is actually one of the hardest photos on the entire stage because they move so erratically. There's Archeops, Illumina Orb Typhlosion to have it use Eruption for a 4-star photo. Fluffruit Aerodactyl, maybe. That's actually probably better that I missed the first one because then the second Aerodactyl was in the background. And sometimes if there are other species of or just other Pokemon in general in the background of a photo, you will get more points on the photo. But now we are going to take the alternate route. Go by this sleeping Shinx. Sometimes the Shinx wakes up, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what causes it to. Also, that's the first time the car hasn't, like, stopped right next to the sleeping Shinx, so I was actually able to get a pretty good picture that I don't think I've actually ever seen. So I'll take that. I am going to switch to a 6-photo burst, and I hope that there are fans of Charizard in the chat because I'm going to hit these 2 Charmanders with Illumina Orbs. They're in position. Bonk Graveler down. Car stops mysteriously. And Charizard is going to erupt out of, I don't know where. Maybe the lava? I don't know. But that is, I believe, the 4-star Charizard interaction, and it's very, very high points. But now, we need to wake up this Torkoal because it was sleeping right on top of one of the rainbow feathers. Torkoal.
What an odd place to sleep.
Alright. Feather. I always like to do the feather before Flareon just to be safe. And then, so there are these flowers all throughout the game called Christablooms. When you hit them with Illumina Orbs, everything lights up. And if you hit that Christabloom with an Illumina Orb, Slugma shows up. And if you time it right, you can get like a 5,000 point picture of Slugma. So now we are going to be taking a lot of pictures of the Rainbow Legend, Oh itself.
So beautiful. I love the Johto legendaries.
Yeah, they're really good. Alright, now I need to hit this Luxray with an Illumina Orb. Nice. Seeing its eyes light up like that is really good because that means that we got the timing right and Vivian will appear in the sky, which is great because that's the final species of Pokemon that we need for this stage. And I got thrown off on the timing on the initial bursts of Ho-Oh. I had to take a backup burst at the very end, which is fine because Ho-Oh pictures are all ridiculously high point. I feel like Ho-Oh is one of the like most consistently high point Pokemon, with the exception of like when it's flying down the corridor at the start. 5646 on that. Oh, at the end.
Nice work.
Okay, yeah, a Diamond Monferno. Picture is really, really, really good.
Perfect timing.
You know what else is really, really good? We got a new poll in chat. It is to choose the state to race through for Anarchy and Laszlo. They've got Colorado, Montana, New Mexico, Oregon, and Texas. So choose whichever one that you feel is right in the Twitch poll right now.
Perfect timing. Nice work.
I also got more
Hey.
donations whenever we're ready.
Yeah, there actually now is probably the last like really good time before the end of the run, because Elsewhere Forest is pretty complex and I am very happy with that, and the professor wants to upload another Charizard picture. He always does that.
Charizard's one of those big Pokemon that we were talking about that's really cool, and we've got a donation about one as well. We got a $5.69 donation from number one Gardevoir fan who says, I love my large trash, son. I do too. Please continue sending in your donations for your favorite big boy Pokemon or maybe your small boy Pokemon. Whatever you want, but I want to hear about those big ones. Any donation that you make will go towards Malala Fund. And I would love to read some more Pokemon donations from y'all. We also have $5 from Cassasaur, who says, let's go Maple and let's go Frame Fatales. Could not agree more. Thank you so much for your generosity.
All right,
We also have
so we
$55 from KD Kid, who says, Pokemon Snap is such a chill game. Cool to see it. Let's continue seeing it.
yeah, it. The like chill vibes of this game are so good, and I feel like a shimmying Trevenant really just sort of highlights that. But we are now in the sort of haunted, mysterious forest known as Elsewhere Forest. There's a lot of looming fog that grows more and more dense, and then we sort of warp around to different seasons. So we are going to go into the winter to take a photo of Gardevoir, and then coming back to earlier talking about Ninetales. There she is up there, going to throw a fluff fruit to get Ninetales to yell at us.
Oh, really?
Because that is actually one of the highest point photos in the entire sort of stage. I accidentally scared Sawsbuck away, so let's get Sawsbuck in a moment instead of right here. But let's still get Unpheasant. I don't think Unpheasant shows up again. Here we go. Now we are going to zoom away and try to get a picture of, like, the ideal backup Sawsbuck, at least in my opinion, is, like, right... Oh, you're fast. Okay. Bye. Well... We're gonna still snap that picture. And now, another sort of, at least to me, surprising, like, really high point Pokemon on the stage is a Deerling. Even though Deerling is so small, Deerling will run up right next to the car to look at this Crystabloom, and it's such a cute little interaction. I love Deerling on the stage so much.
That might be the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like, for real.
Now we got Drampa.
Another big Pokemon, and you know what else is big? Sorry, I gotta cut in here because y'all's speedy donations have made us be able to unlock a new incentive nice and early. We've got for American Truck Simulator, Truckers Go Old School is now open. So if we meet that Big Ranch and Heavy Chevy, we'll take their rivalry back in time to the original Horsepower, an old-fashioned horse race in Red Dead Online. That means we get Red Dead Redemption in this marathon as a secret bonus game somehow. Right now we need $1,500 in order to meet that. So when you're sending in your big Pokemon donations, small Pokemon donations, Pokemon number donations, anything donations, put it towards that Truckers Go Old School incentive by assigning it when you donate.
Beware is back.
Beware. Fine. I'll get a bad Pancham. Orb the Celebi, and I'm very sad to say I'm going to unfortunately make Celebi sad up here because hi. Can you move, please? Thank you. I've never seen Beware do that before. It just walked right up to the car. Who's blocking the car now? It's still the same Beware. Oh, this Beware really wants to be on Flame Fatales as well, I guess. Alright, so here is Celebi. Unfortunately, we are going to make Celebi a little bit sad just because it's very high points and I'm not creative enough to learn a, like, actually viable backup. I think that there is one, but it's just excessively hard and I don't fully understand how to do it. Grab Lotad, throw the Illumina Orb to get Superior to show up, get Bulbasaur, and Superior is a very majestic Pokemon in my opinion. And time is going to be when the course score for this stage shows up after the photos are praised. All around, this I think was a pretty good sort of highlight of just how difficult some of these stages can get, especially Snowfields and especially Volcano. But I am very happy with how it went. I'm also very happy that I was able to, like, find a decent point Sawsbuck on the fly, because there is a super, super, super high point Sawsbuck in that sort of fog stretch before the Celebi Forest. But I don't fully remember how to get it. I think it has something to do with chaining the Deerling along the Crystalblooms. Oh, we got a 1-star Celebi PB, I'll take it. And then also, though, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe that the Steelix Illumina spot incentive was met, correct?
It sure was.
Alright, so there is still... Well, that's time. That's also a PB.
Nice.
Whoa, GG! That's amazing.
I'll gladly take that out. That might have been 7 million if Beware didn't hijack the Pancham photo. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it would have been, but... So now I'm going to very quickly flip to a different page in my route notes. So that way I know exactly where to go. Although this stage, I probably don't actually need the notes because this is my best stage in the entire game. The only stage that... oh, fun fact about new Pokemon Snap. There are actually in-game leaderboards